There was once a man named Ethan who loved deeply, but feared even more deeply. Ethan had a kind partner who cared for him, supported him, and never gave him a real reason to doubt their loyalty. Yet every day, a quiet voice inside Ethan's mind whispered the same painful thought. What if they're cheating on you? At first it was only a small thought, but like a seed planted in dark soil, it slowly began to grow. When his partner laughed at a message on their phone, Ethan wondered who it was. When they came home late from work, Ethan imagined the worst. When they went out with friends, his mind created stories that never even happened. The strange thing was, none of it was real. Yet the pain Ethan felt was very real. Every night he replayed imaginary scenes in his head. His mind built entire stories out of tiny details. A late reply, a smile at a message, a moment of silence. Slowly, doubt began to poison something beautiful. One day, after another long night of overthinking, Ethan met an older man sitting in a quiet cafe. The man noticed Ethan's restless mind and asked a simple question. Why are you fighting battles that only exist in your imagination? Ethan sighed and said, I'm afraid the person I love might betray me. The old man nodded calmly. Tell me, he said, has this happened? Ethan shook his head. Has your partner shown you real proof of betrayal? Again, Ethan said no. The old man smiled gently. Then your mind is not protecting you, he said. It is creating a prison. Ethan looked confused. A prison? He asked. Yes, the old man replied. A prison made of imagined stories. He continued. Your brain is designed to detect danger, but sometimes it forgets the difference between possibility and reality. Possibility is endless. Anything could happen. But reality is what is actually happening right now. Ethan sat quietly thinking. The old man leaned forward and said something Ethan would never forget. Trust is not the absence of fear. Trust is the decision to stop feeding the fear. Ethan realized something important in that moment. Every time he questioned, accused, or imagined betrayal, he was watering the seed of doubt. But if he stopped feeding those thoughts, the seed would slowly die. From that day forward, Ethan practiced 3 simple rules. First, when a suspicious thought appeared, he asked himself, do I have real evidence or just imagination? Second, instead of spying or assuming, he communicated openly. And third, he reminded himself daily, the person I love deserves my trust unless reality proves otherwise. Slowly, the storm in his mind began to calm. The thoughts didn't disappear overnight, but each time they appeared, Ethan refused to give them power. And eventually, the prison of doubt disappeared, because he finally understood something important. The greatest threat to love is not betrayal. It is fear that creates betrayal where none exists. And true peace begins the moment you stop believing every story your mind creates. Moral: not every thought deserves your belief. Sometimes peace comes from letting the mind speak, without letting it control you.